Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal, where we are about to do a thing that is not optimal for scoring purposes. Listen, we're already playing non-optimally for scoring purposes. If I really wanted to, nail this to the wall, we would have, routed our planetary path probably immediately after starting the game and figuring out what our starting planet was. We could have done some more planning on our reps and stuff. We're gonna fix our reps. Our reps are in a bad place. We're gonna figure those out. But before we try to figure any of that stuff out, we need to make this alliance if we're going to make it, because doing this is going to trash our reps up even further. But I am really curious about the Capellan Flashpoint and the faction store and stuff, so let's go ahead and hit this alliance button. When we choose to ally with this faction, we will gain access to their unique quartermaster store, and also, it says special difficult faction only missions. I believe this only refers to the single Flashpoint that each of the major houses offers. When you become allied, your reputation with the faction can no longer fall below 0, but also your rep will be capped at 0 with their enemies. The Capellans have a lot of enemies. Most of this doesn't really matter, but we do currently have 100 Merrick reputation, and we're going to lose all of that. That's a real shame. It's fine. We're gonna do the thing, then we're gonna break the alliance, and then we'll figure it out from there. So, you are now allied. This faction's quartermaster shops are located in Principia and Victoria. Okay. When we break the alliance, it will drop our rep with them by 75 points. And then because everybody hates them, they're a very common enemy in missions. Probably it is going to end up being the case that our Capellan rep is at negative 100. And that's how we'll get some of that negative faction reputation completion. Anyway, let's have a look at the map. Where is our new... I clicked on Samaria. That's not what I meant to do.
I'll be here if you need.
Where is our new flashpoint? Is that it? Nope, this is employed by the Kellhounds. I mean, we'll do that for sure. Is it? It's not this one. This one already existed. This is a faction store. Maybe we have to fly around a little bit to get it to appear, because it doesn't look like there's a new one. That one was already on the map. Yeah, it should happen. So let's just go do some stuff in faction space. I mean, we could certainly fly down to Principia. We haven't been there yet. We haven't been to Victoria yet, which is on the way. Or this world. Sindalin, which is on the way. Yeah, that would be fine. It's a 4.5 skull world with a former Starlink presence, which means that there may be very cool and rare tech in the store. Before we leave, I should remember to shop here, though. Remember how I said I might space and forget to shop here? I almost did it. That was very close. And then once we're in Capellan space, we can hire some new people on and stuff. The stores there will actually sell to us. So what do we want to grab? We're on the way to the faction store, and it would be cool to have some money when we arrive. I do kind of want to finish off this Raven. I don't know, maybe. Because we could also just grab a Gauss rifle. Look at that. It does 75 base damage at a range of 660 meters. It's weird. I don't know what the 5ST in parentheses after the damage number is. Because there's no, what ST? Seeing ST, the first thing I thought was stability, but there's already a number for that. If it did 5 extra stability damage, the stability number would just say 45. I don't know. It's just not realistic. It's not realistic for us to buy that. It would be cool to have one. Maybe the thing is we don't buy any parts here, since we're about to go into friendly space. We don't actually need the Raven for completion purposes. We could buy a bunch of Highlander parts. That would almost wipe us out. You know what? We're not going to buy anything else. We bought the Locust bits. We may as well buy that flamethrower because it's extremely cheap. Do we also want? We may as well buy this. It takes 0 tonnage. We'll install that in something, right? And then this arm mod. Honestly, at 1 ton, this is a thing we will never, ever, ever use. I'm going to buy this. We don't have a spare, and these are amazing. We're going to buy both of them, in fact. I didn't even realize there were two. I'm excited to have that. And then some extra effective Infernos. Like, I'm not wild about Infernos. I guess if they do 15 heat per missile, 30 heat... It's a component that weighs 3 tons, has 8 volleys of 30 heat. Honestly, I don't know if I like those. And then I think we'll just bounce. We'll get the Highlander thing figured out. I'm not too worried about it. Actually, never mind. We will not just bounce. We're about to be in the air for 15 days. We should probably make sure we have 15 days worth of repairs queued up. We're actually going to finish stuff. We're not going to have anything in the queue as it stands right now. Obviously, we have a mech here that could use a little bit of a touch-up. But we might clear our mech bay queue. That would be crazy. The first time since the beginning of the game that we've not had anything building. So what do we want to do with you? Well, first of all, we want to make sure that you are painted as attractively as possible. That's not bad. It looks like most of the designs have a lot of white on the top, which is consistent with our company style book. I kind of like this. It's got a nice futury feel to it, I think. And then, this thing does not have a lot of weapons options. Lasers and missiles, and also 1,000 armor. So the default outfit for this thing is a single LRM-10, a large laser, and 3 mediums. That feels pretty bad. We have 26 tons of space. I mean, here's the thing. We already have a mech or two that we've built that is like an up-close dump SRMs into the enemies type mech. We could outfit this thing with a snub PPC and then... Man, I don't know what... I'm having a real hard time coming up with new designs, like new uses for mechs. It is right now the case, basically, that we just have, we have a couple of types of mech, and we just have several different different instances of each of those types. He could be a flamethrower, I suppose. He has 3 support slots. We could put some flamers and some infernos. That's no good. What if we double large laser and then put in some LRMs? Yep, that's not where the missile hardpoints are. So let's see, an LRM-20 is 10 tons. I mean, it's really boring. But this would be relatively... I mean, I guess that doesn't really work, because we can't put the... We can't run the ammo. But, if we cut this to a 15... You know, that's pretty effective, and then we could mount the large laser, and we could... It's fine. It's totally fine. It's just not very exciting, is all. Well, I think it's what we're going to do, because we don't really need another... the Thunderbolts are very much for being up close, but we don't really need more up-close mechs right now, I don't think. We have stuff for that. So each LRM ammo bin is 120 rounds... So we need to run 3 of them to have 10 volleys available. And then a heatsink, I guess? I'm not going to put an injury resist. We do have an injury resist cockpit to put in something. Right? That's okay. I'm gonna build that. I wanna... No, it's fine. We'll build that just to have it built out, to have it be something. And we kind of have a lot of mechs that are already the guy that dumps the LRMs too. I'm going to have to rack my brain a little bit, maybe over the weekend, and try to come up with some more unusual designs, some more specialized purposes. But for right now, I think we're good to just go ahead and fly out to Victoria, where things will be difficult. We'll have some great big fights to do. My guess is while we're flying to Victoria, it's going to spawn in the faction flashpoint. We are also about to complete our training module.
Ready to go over financials whenever you are.
We could probably just keep pay normal for the moment and lay in the work for that last training module, assuming it's not super expensive. No, it's fine.
That, Commander? I'll get the crew moving.
It is entirely possible, I suppose, that the faction flashpoints don't appear just because you ally, that they spawn on a schedule like all the other flashpoints do, and you have to just be allied when you hit one of the spawning dates, which would mean that we might have to stay allied with the Capellans potentially for quite some time before we'd be able to see it. Obviously, that would be very not ideal. And, oh my god, we're done. I don't think I want to... We're just going to keep flying. I don't think I want to put anything else in the queue. But somehow they managed to finish repairing all the things. It's incredible. That's probably good. We're going to a planet that might be difficult enough that we might need a full mech bay. Alright, let's have a quick look at the star map. I don't think we got a message that indicated that there were new flashpoints available, but I'm just curious here. I sure wish you could zoom out further. Okay, so it's neither of those, neither of those. Okay, well, let's not freak out about it just yet. Part of what we're here for is to check out the faction store, so I guess let's do this first. Let's look at the normal store. There's a piece of a cataphract, piece of a C4 catapult. Honestly, the normal store here is not terrible. There's some interesting stuff. As well as an extended range PPC, because that's what you need on a particle cannon, is more range. It does do 70 damage. That's definitely compelling. It's 45 heat, but it's a one-shot weapon. And it's only 6 tons, actually. That's 3.6 million C-bills, unfortunately. But it's definitely cool. A large pulse laser, 60 damage at 6 tons, considerably less heat generation. Obviously, the range is not as good. Some of these are pretty compelling weapons. So does the attached beacon... Okay, it's only missile weapons. They get buffed, but plus 50% missile damage is, like, incredibly significant. What a good weapon. Minus 10 heat is not nearly as compelling as plus 10 damage, although it's possible that we have enough of these already. And then the faction store here has it's the same stuff? No, it's not exactly the same stuff. It's some of the same stuff. They have some of the same mech parts. So I'm assuming this cataphract part is different from the one that's in the main store. So we could get up to 4 pieces of a cataphract here. Maybe even finishing a cataphract if we can run into one somewhere else on the world. Dragon parts, we definitely don't have a dragon, and we do need one. We're at 0 and 1 on the Highlander. Okay, there's a lot of mech parts here. Not necessarily all super useful for us. Ooh, I do like to see unlimited SRM 6 triple plus. That's definitely interesting. Also unlimited Infernos. And unlimited heat banks? The really good heat banks? They have some additional mortars. To be perfectly honest with you, now that we know what the mortar does, I don't think we need a second one. I'm fascinated by this though. Look at the price on that. Yeah, we're gonna commit some dollars to this. And we may yet find a use for some Infernos. Okay, obviously, buying that stuff is not going to improve our situation right now, though, because it would take time to install. So let's have a look at what missions are available here on this exceedingly difficult world. We are definitely going to buy like a whole bunch of SRM-6 launchers. And SRM-4 launchers are also interesting. You almost never need a 2, but SRM-4 launchers are only a single slot, while the 6s are multiple slots. So there are some mechs that have missile hardpoints on their head, where they can only mount a single slot worth of missiles, so 4s are useful in those cases. And look at this, actual full difficulty missions. And for some reason, a 5-skull mission that pays absolute garbage. Well, I mean, I'm not broken up about being compelled to take max salvage, I guess, on a 5-skull. Is that how we're starting? That might be how we're starting. Because I want to hit the 5 skulls while we're feeling relatively fresh. Also, 835, I think, is the largest amount of salvage I've ever seen on a mission. Let's do this one first. A scientist for a Capellan conglomerate has turned industrial spy for a rival corporation from Davian. She was privy to numerous industrial secrets that we would prefer not to fall into our competitors' hands. Alright, we are going to extract the scientist through proactive means. I do love a proactive mean. Is it full? It's full priority, right? Because yeah, this amount of money is a joke to me. Even the full value. And then we're just going to go maximum hardness here. There is no reason to soft pedal this one at all. Oh, that's right. I built this quick draw, but it wasn't actually totally finished. I wanted to put some jump jets in it, but we weren't allowed to buy stuff at the stores in that sector, and we ran out of heavy jump jets. So let me, before I forget... actually, the best way to do this is probably going to be through the mech bay interface. Let's put that on the docket here. I don't remember. I think it didn't have enough room for... oh no, it has 5 tons remaining. Apparently I meant to go hard. Right, because these are 1 ton each, yeah. I do wish that there was a quantity button. Just like do this all in a couple of clicks.
New equipment available.
But it's nice that you can do it right from the mech build menu now. Oh, and apparently we got one from a mission at some point, so I did not need to do that. I did not need to buy all of them. Couple in the middle here. A jump jet that can't be blown off definitely has some value. Okay. Get that in there so I don't forget to buy them again, because it absolutely could have happened. Alright, now let's do the thing. Alright, we want all of the biggest and meanest mechs. Annihilator, you stay. It's probably going to be like Annihilator, Crab, Warhammer, and the Marauder. This is a hell of a team. It does not have a lot of super great long range, I suppose, and there's like an argument maybe to be made about including the catapult over... I don't know. The Marauder and the Annihilator are both okay at long range. We do not have a single LRM here. Everything is direct fire, which is a little worrying, but I think this is what we're going to do. If we're going to do one of the most difficult missions the game could throw at us, let's really commit to it. The Crab actually probably should go in the last slot. And who are our ace pilots? Obviously, Tire Fire needs to be in here. Kind of want her in the Annihilator, so the breaching shot plays well with it. And then Uncrackable, who has so far kind of lived up to his name a little bit. He could go in the Hoplite, and we've had returned driving the Warhammer for the most part. The downside to that is that XP that returned gains is not worth any points. Your captain does not contribute to the score. So we should train somebody up to take his place, but I think I'm going to keep him in for right now because I think we need the second coolant vent. But basically, we want to trade up a pilot who has his exact skill set and just max them out. Alright, I feel pretty okay about that. Let's go get in some trouble. Also, the UAC-20 is, it's out of line. It's unreasonable. It's an unfair weapon for a person to be able to have. I'm not trying to say that I feel bad about using it, because I don't. But I do think that, to a certain extent, finding one of those as early in the campaign as we did is maybe maybe bad for the entertainment value of things. It's all right. We're gonna find a way to keep things entertaining. It's not like I'm not losing stuff, and it's not like I'm not getting pilots injured constantly. The stronger our mechs are, the more they enable us to play in incredibly risky ways, and that, you know, that's its own kind of entertainment value.
Command interface initiated.
All right, this is the region where the Davian facility is located. Move up and occupy. Alright, easy enough. At least it sounds easy enough. Yeah, just run. I guess I probably don't want to run the Marauder into a valley like that, though. Probably want to go around this side. I can get up on this raised ground over here. Same deal with the Annihilator. And the crab just needs to take whatever route lets me go the most forward. I will say that although I enjoy having both sure-footing and bulwark on my up-close and personal mech, there is an argument to be made that maybe we should, if we're going to train another version of Returned, maybe we give him sensor lock instead of one of those things, because it sure would be nice for the Warhammer to have sensor lock for turns where we want it to hide.
Copy that, Commander.
I guess we're all just going this way.
Coordinates received.
So that is a great big mech over there, a 95-tonner.
Confirmed.
Who's got the sensor lock that we're using? It's just tire fire, right? Yeah, okay. That's fine. The Annihilator does not have the, does not necessarily have the movement to get where it's going this turn anyway. Let's go see what you are. Why, it's a Banshee. Wow. For a mech of that size, that weapon loadout is like a total joke.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Let's see. The hoplite, I mean, not going to be able to get much done this turn.
And 4.
Yeah, when that Banshee is fighting other mechs of similar similar weight class, it must almost never be able to actually deal damage. It would take so many successful alpha strikes to get through the armor on, like, an Annihilator or a crab. Aha! Look at that. Look at all those jump jets. It's a beautiful thing. Do I even want to shoot? Like, this guy has cover and guarded and bulwark. He is at 60% damage reduction. We could just try to pop his head. It's probably not going to happen. I guess jumping up here has some value in that it lets me provide vision for everybody else, so we can judge our movements more accurately and stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump up here and brace. Take advantage of my bulwark that way.
Ready to rock.
All right. Can you find you can find a shot. So we could just try to get lucky with the AC-10. If it works, it's going to feel a little cheesy, but also, the enemy's going to be a little bit dead, and it's hard to be too upset about that. Right? We just breaching shot straight through all of his cover.
I'm on him. Bye-bye.
I'm really? Okay. We might have to muzzle him. That just, it doesn't feel like you should be able to do that.
Standing by.
Okay, gonna probably slow roll us a little bit here. I guess we'll move tire fire next.
Got it.
I want him to come around the corner into something that can definitely stand up to a volley, no matter what a volley actually means from him. Could be a lot, right?
Engaging jump jets.
Looks like maybe we're not going to have to fight at all. Okay, here we go. No, it's just another Banshee. Oh, it's a different design of Banshee, though. You know, a pair of PPCs. This one's at least trying a little bit.
Good to go.
Also, it apparently has serious cooling problems, because
Got it. Max speed.
that's a lot of heat to generate in a polar environment.
Skipper,
And I know PPCs run hot and everything, but they're not usually that hot. Okay, so this guy does not have any damage reduction at all, so I think we're going to just jump in. I'm trying to give myself the best chance to remain in cover here,
Engaging jump jet.
and let's just blast him. So he has 350 center health. We'd probably be better off trying to take a leg. As it is right now, obviously we have 3 pieces of that other Banshee in the salvage pool, so that's good. That's a mech we don't have, and the Banshee is on the completion list, I'm pretty sure. But man, what a garbage mech! So it would be cool if we could take this thing's head as well. It's like a slightly less garbage mech. I'm not going to precision strike, I don't think. We're going to save it for the others.
Engaging target.
We'll just shotgun the thing for right now. Wow, that is really not a lot of stability damage. I mean, I guess he has entrenched.
confirmed.
Also, just like huge mechs are really good at not getting knocked down. A little surprised we don't have vision of him. Oh no, this isn't quite where I thought it was. Alright, it looks like the Marauder's just going to have to spend a turn positioning. Not ideal.
I hear ya. Uh-huh.
Well, we have the front arc. I think you know what to do.
All weapons are go.
We would have to get it to 4 bars of stability damage for it to even be unsteady. This thing is functionally impossible to knock over.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Even a whole bunch of giant mech punches would not get the job done.
Sprinting.
We could see. Maybe the crab could do it. Oof. 117 damage.
Warning. Armor breached. Internal damage.
That is a-
Damage minimal.
That is a hell of a punch.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Well... Up here is dangerous. I'm a little worried about leaving myself too exposed. This might be a safer place to shoot from.
Acknowledge.
As much as I do love to take the high ground. And I think we turn everything back on and just go for the head again.
I'm on him.
Alright, we got some of the armor. This guy's definitely looking a little worse for the wear, although the punching is an issue. I have a real problem with all of the punching. So it's my left arm that's all busted up. Yeah, that was a hell of a hit.
Engaging jump jets.
I'm definitely not willing to just stay in and duel with him. We just like lance off one of his sides. That arm's going for sure. The side torso's going for sure.
Engaging target.
Okay, we're stacking it up.
Enemy mech. Critical damage.
I think at this point we probably stop trying to headhunt him because I think it's pretty good odds. We're just going to core him no matter what. That's one like kind of advantage. You could think of it as an advantage of bringing this mech to this
Waiting for
battle.
orders.
Is that it has a great big target on it. They really want to fight it because it is smaller than all of the other mechs. So I'm debating between trying to take this thing out now. It doesn't have quite as many. I guess the smart thing to do is to kill the Banshee. The thing is, I want to use the crab to attack those guys, so I think we're going to use the Annihilator for this, which is a little bit of a shame, because the Annihilator, like this is wasting some of our aimed shot potential, but I think we're just going to point blank him. And I don't need to precision strike this, probably. Maybe I should just for safety. If successful, it'll put us back at 50 resolve, so we'll still have our aim bonus.
Got it.
Oh, hell yeah. It's on.
Bang! You're dead!
Ooh, a stalker.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So what is that over there? That is an awesome 8Q, the one I don't like very much. Well, how are its PPCs distributed? There's 2 on the right side and 1 on the left. I guess we could just precision strike for this torso section and see if we can't rip all the weapons off.
Firing everything I've got.
It turns out we can, in fact, rip all the weapons off. And also, the crab really does a lot of stability damage.
Show 'em what
Just
you
a
got.
just a very silly amount of stability damage. Alright, let's not move you yet. You may yet be able to get a
Ready to
shot.
rock.
You, on the other hand... They're going to get to go first on Initiative 1. So we have to make our move here with that in mind. Wow, this Stalker is outfitted. Look at all of that damage. I was considering having the Warhammer like jump to a snub PPC firing position and just knock that thing over, but I'm a little worried that doing that is going to get me broken in half here. I guess this is a huge amount of evasion. So even with all that fire, a lot of it's going to miss, and I do have Bulwark.
Engaging jump jets.
I'm also definitely going to need to vent some coolant. Alright, and this is mostly just about knocking him over.
Engaging target.
Okay, or coring him. Coring him's fine.
Enemy mech destroyed.
What I was really thinking there was we would knock him down and make his shots ineffective, and then his pilot has 2 points of damage, and we can maybe do it that way. But that's right, we do way too much damage to be thinking about putting a pilot out. Okay, it's a lot. It's a lot of damage.
Okay, that was bad.
Oh, that wasn't even the full volley. He's splitting up his weapons just to show off what a good shot he is. Well,
Commander?
I think he's going to regret having done that. So he has Bulwark. With a 40% damage reduction. Each of these big AC-10s only does, 44-ish damage? So we have to ask ourselves, is it better to go in with all the weapons and try to just do enough damage between the Annihilator's headshots and the Marauder's headshots, because we do have enough we do have enough resource to try for both?
What can I do
Or
for you?
should I just use the one big weapon and try to get lucky with Breaching Shot? I think I'm going to try to get lucky with Breaching Shot with this mech, and then that'll determine what our plan is with the other one.
Let's see. Oh, hell yeah. It's on.
Turns out,
Tango is trash, Skipper.
there's not really anything they can do about it either. Like, all of the mechs have the same amount of head armor, and they're all at maximum head armor, so it's not like you will run into somebody who has 80 or anything. Like, that's the maximum amount you can have. Just Breaching Shot makes all of the defensive maneuvers completely worthless. Okay. Well, position. I guess I should have had it be the crab. I'm going to put the crab in the zone too. You pick which one you want to get in.
The asset has been secured and is
Oh.
ready for retrieval.
The reinforcements. Again, I was expecting reinforcements. There usually are. I mean, that was not a trivial lance, certainly. We got punched for 117 damage. I will say that 117 is a weird amount. I kind of wonder if he had like a percentage boost to punch damage or something. Alright, hold on a second. Let me go grab the list. Alright, we'll just scroll down to the heavies and assaults section. So, the Banshees are... Oh no, the Banshees are not part of the thing. They're from later. Okay, so we don't need the Banshees for this purpose. The Stalker is part of the base game. Okay. So we do need the Stalker for class completion and also it seems to be a terrifyingly excellent mech. And then is there anything here that's like really compelling? Plus damage medium lasers are always good, but that aside, no, nothing here is really cool. Alright, I think we're going to take parts then. Do we want to grab the Banshee 3M part, even though it's not one of the important mechs, just because like it really does that thing? Like, that's 8 energy hardpoints. It doesn't get much more focused than that. Also, 6 hardpoints on which you can mount additional small lasers. The thing is, we really... I could have sworn this was a base game mech, but my list doesn't have it. Alright, we're going to take the awesome part, because the awesome is a base game mech, and we do need to actually complete that for scoring. Alright, they gave us a bunch of garbage. I mean, this targeting system is fine, I guess. I rarely find myself in a position where I have 2 extra tons to devote to things that aren't weapons and survivability. But I guess if you were to, like, load up your stalker with a ton of missile pods and then just keep it at a distance, maybe it makes more sense to put on a TTS than to give it more jump jets. Especially since you have an indirect fire weapon. Alright, do we feel comfortable rolling straight into the next one, or do we want to repair the Warhammer? To be clear, if we were to go right into the next one, we would be not using the Warhammer. And what does that look like? Oh, this is an attack and defend. This is going to be absolutely brutal. So we're not actually running it like this. I'm just looking at our options here. So if we don't play you, we could play the Orion, which has an AC-10, 3 of those plus damage SRMs. This one doesn't have the bonus stability damage, but this is a pretty good mech. Alpha strikes for 276 damage, and it's relatively heat efficient. It's only plus 12 on the Alpha. So that's part of the value of this, is I was trying to build something that would be operational in high heat contexts, especially if we didn't have access to all of our coolant pilots. There's also the Dragonfly, so I tried to go for a thing here. The Dragonfly is all loaded up with flamethrowers. All of our plus flamethrowers that we've ever found are on this thing, and then also a couple of normal flamethrowers. And the idea is, with its 4 jump jets, you can just get right up on top of people and hit them for like 70 heat damage or something. Which obviously is pretty good. There's a lot of mechs that will be put over their heat threshold from perfectly cool by the amount of fire this thing produces. I would have jammed Infernos into the missile slot, but it's one of those things where it's in the head, so it's only it only fits single slot weapons, and unfortunately Infernos are multiple. We could run this. It doesn't alpha strike all that hard. Like, it still has some lasers, and the flamethrowers do damage. We even have a large laser plus, so we have some approach damage. It also has plus DFA damage and minus DFA self-damage, and also an arm mod for plus 60 melee damage. So if this thing runs up on somebody and punches them, it's going to get them for 150 punch damage, plus 5 damage from each of the 6 flamethrowers, plus all that heat. It's maybe not a great idea, but it is a fun idea, and we could try this, right? We could just run it like that. The hoplight's fine. This doesn't necessarily need to be returned. Is there somebody that makes more sense here? If Grizzly had more stat points, she'd be a pretty good pilot for it. Ace pilot is cool. To be perfectly honest, she still might be the right move. Because piloting is the thing that matters most for this. And she's over the good piloting threshold. In fact, she has more piloting than Return does. So that's where you're getting your plus melee hit chance, and your hit defense, and your extra move speed. This might actually be... And with the urban biome, we have all the buildings to take cover behind, so the Dragonfly could actually get close to people. We're not cooling any extra heat. Let's try it like this. Let's give this a shot. I am cautiously optimistic. It may turn out that the Dragonfly is a terrible joke design. It totally might be. I'm not saying it's not. But think about it. Think about punching a guy for 150 damage and then shutting him down so he just has to stand there and take even more damage. That's a big hole in the armor. And like, there are... A mech that has any visible heat in the bar at all is in a lot of danger from the number of flamethrowers that we have mounted on this big ridiculous thing. I guess we should actually read the mission briefing. We have a developing situation and need an unorthodox solution which we're hoping your team can provide. 6 hours ago, a heavily armed Merrick strike force landed near one of our research facilities and took control of it. That's bad. We simply don't have enough local firepower to dislodge them. We're going to bait a third party into helping us destroy the base and its intel. You are that bait. Oh shoot, I did hit forward with... You know what? This is fine. We could have... With this being an attack and defend, we could have tried to optimize for money, but honestly, we probably want a lot of salvage. I don't know how much exactly. This is probably fine. But I did totally go into that menu just to see if it was even reasonable to attack. I intended to go back and dial in the appropriate pay and salvage values. Ah well, we'll live. This is still pretty damn good. So when we go to like 4 skull and 4.5 skull planets, we're going to start accumulating heavy and especially assault mech salvage pretty quickly. I'm not at all worried about like us not having taken 8 full salvage here. We are going to have plenty of opportunities to get big mechs. Alright, we're expecting Merrick forces to begin their assault on the facility any moment. If they destroy it, our employers lose their eyes on the operational area and they'll scrub the mission. So, we're going to hold the Merrick force and keep them busy well away from the friendly facility, while a Lyran strike force goes to the AO. Once they land, they'll engage everyone, friendly and hostile, and generally stir up trouble. The goal is to get them to take the brunt of the enemy fire, and we just clean up afterward. And then we kill this base. Okay. Whose bullshit idea was this, anyway? Not helpful, Meyer. Stay on station to make the pickup once the base is down. Okay.
Shooting buildings is fun. They can't run away.
She's not wrong. That is a thing that is true about buildings. So we don't exactly know where the enemies are going to come from. We got a general direction indicator, but like they could approach from... They could go around these buildings this way, or they could try to cut through this way. So I guess we just want to kind of stay central. Especially with the mechs that have direct fire weaponry, which is to say, all of them. Grasshopper, real fast for its size.
There. Okay.
Also a little unusually tall. Also, we're really not... we're not doing a good job of defending the sanctity of this base. I guess this was not necessarily the greatest move for the crab, because the crab has no jump jets and there's no way down on this side. We could probably afford to just move it. It's going to end up having to go down this ramp, right? Dragonfly... You can just get up on this building? That's pretty dangerous. How... Oh, yeah. 250 damage. Not sufficient for me to feel safe that that building will still exist when we need it to.
I'm there.
I'm not saying I'm definitely not going to jump on any buildings. Let's just not start that way. These are the buildings we have to destroy. We have to destroy all 4 of them, and once we do, the reinforcements will stop spawning. We only have 4 pieces of priority salvage, so at a certain point, it doesn't help us to let more enemies spawn just for loot purposes. I'm going to jump in. We're going to stay low, though. I don't want to be on top of the buildings if I don't have to be. With the Marauder, it's a little bit different because the Marauder's not super strong on its own. Like this is maybe a good evasion strategy. And we don't need to be too close.
No sweat.
Sorry, everyone who owns any of these cars. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, when the hell are we going to get contacts? Okay, so they're going to land over there. So I want to shift this way so that these guys are brought in and the enemies are on the other side of them.
Skipper.
You are going to go over here, I guess. Just like pretty much back where you were last turn. You can tell he's having a good time. Oh, sorry, we're in combat rounds now. I was like, why didn't that end my turn? But yeah, because that's not how the game works.
I'm here.
Right, so Dragonfly runs this way.
Going as fast as I can.
When we're talking about enemies of this size, it actually does matter a little bit more than it used to, that we manage aggro appropriately here. This guy's doing exactly what we want, though. I can jump clear over these buildings. That doesn't even really make sense for a mech of that size, but we'll take it.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So we have one reading there, and there's another one. Okay, right there. I mean, I don't want to give him vision right before his turn. Let's run to, I guess, run to right here.
Sprinting.
That way I can move up around here if he moves this way. We don't have to meet him face to face. I can try to flank. Op Force holding forces back at the base to cover their intel teams. They are optional targets. Sounds like a few turns from now problem. Lyrans have arrived. Okay, that's a crab. I didn't see what all their stuff was, but they definitely have a crab. Lots and lots of optional objectives. You know what? Just reserve down.
Wait. Sure.
That's a Highlander 733. And it is close enough to fire on the buildings. Yes, I know. I am not under any I am not under any illusions that we can keep all friendly structures standing. We are going to have very little control over that.
Confirmed.
I hear ya.
Let's start with the Annihilator.
Got it.
They have a Grasshopper of their own, which has no defenses whatsoever. Well, I mean, you know what I want you to do here.
Take this.
Not a single head
Another
hit.
hit like that and you're toast.
Still, pretty good overall damage. Yeah, like, it's going to be so hard to keep them from dealing damage to the base.
What are your orders, Skipper?
That's not a great shot. Well, let's try it. We're going to once again attempt to take advantage of the breaching shot.
Let's see what you got.
Uncrackable might be the best pilot, or the best shot at least, in the entire galaxy. What was that flash I just saw from the friendly base? I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a big deal. There are a lot of structures in this base. That's a huge amount of concrete, though.
Hey.
That's probably like... A building of that size falling is probably a legitimate ecological disaster. Alright, what do we want to do with you? We want to be careful. It does, like, the thing has over 1,000 armor. It's not a soft target, but we have to be careful how much we expose it. Hold on a second. Is this... These guys are Lyran, right? I think.
What now?
Let's have the crab, turns out you don't need to be over there. Let's
Double
have the
time.
crab run this way.
Hey.
Yeah, it's not super easy to tell what's happening over there. Let's have you jump up to here, and we'll just hammer this guy with the weapons.
Engaging.
I am a little worried about the flamethrower fuel situation, because this is going to be like a long fight. I'm also a little worried about the fact that we're firing into the wrong side of the damn mech. Well, nothing for it now.
Engaging.
Grizzly does not have great heat management. But that's okay. Like, this thing is built for punch turns.
Show 'em what you got.
That's going to be our heat management. A 75-ton mech moving on Initiative 3. Not great for me. Alright, some solid teamwork there, though. Also, that guy's very easy to knock down now.
Yup.
So that's probably the Hoplite's job, is find yourself a shooting position. That corporate building is one of the mission targets, so definitely not a place that we should stand.
Engaging jump jet.
Alright, our view sight gives us, our rangefinder gives us information that that is not a real enemy that I care about. This is probably not enough damage for the knockdown. But I bet we could just drill center and actually kill this guy.
Oh, hell yeah. It's on.
Alright, that's going to compromise their vision of the base.
I'm here.
That has some definite value, and you are just going to wait.
Gonna camp here until I see an opening.
Ooh, a Battlemaster. So wait, that... Okay, that's a Lyran Banshee. I guess we don't want to just, like, leave the Lyrans alone completely, because at this point, they outnumber the Merrick forces in the area, and my guess is, the way the forces are arranged here, we're not going to be able to get the Lyrans to fight these guys for us.
Hey,
But the Lyrans are probably not sharing visual information with the Merrick, so those mechs over there behind the crab won't be able to shoot at us if we kill the other two Merrick mechs up here. Is that the... Okay, these are... Both of the Banshees we can see are the non-dangerous kind of Banshee. That Battlemaster, on the other hand, is a problem.
What can I do for you?
Let's see if we can, you know, annihilate. I'd love to get some cover. Yeah, well, this is a side shot. Gosh, he has a lot of evasion. Okay, hold on. Somebody else needs to go first.
what?
Let's have it be the
No.
Grasshopper. We'll just move to here where we have a bunch of... I gotta be careful about ranged fire, or long-range fire coming in, though. I don't want to give them my back. I want to have some cover, but I don't want to jump. Run to here, but that exposes me to... Well, it exposes me to that Banshee, who's not actually a danger, right? And then we just fire at this guy with a weapon or something. You know what? I have, if I'm talking about just firing with a weapon, let me do it this way. We'll give him a medium laser, so we preserve some ammo here.
I'll try.
There we go. Strip the evasion, and then I just move to an actual hidden position, because I have Ace Pilot. And I'm smart, kind of, sometimes. Occasionally I remember things, is maybe a fairer way to put it. I think what I'm going to try to do is have the Grasshopper make it to the other side of these buildings. We'll push up that way. Just increase the number of angles we're shooting at the enemies from. Plus, I like pulling our guys this way because it means that these Lyran forces could potentially go for the other Merricks instead of coming after us.
Waiting for orders.
Which means that we do need to move the crab in this direction as well. Pretty aggressively. You get to here, and I will not have UAC 20 range. I think I'm going to risk just giving the enemies a good clean shot. It's moving pretty fast. It'll probably be fine. Oh, camera. Whoa. There's a lot going on. I can understand why it might get a little wiggy. Alright, their crab discharged a pair of AC-20s into the enemy, and, you know, the thing that happened to people when crabs shoot at them happened. Not that I want to draw a bunch of fire from the Lyrans, but that crab's got to go.
I hear ya.
That has to be a high priority. We definitely have to shoot the crab right now. So, it has one evasion. I can get up to 2 evasion if I jump into combat. I mean, can I jump, like, sideways and get 2 evasion? I really would like that second evasion. I also would like to be shooting at the front arc of this crab. Actually, I guess that's not true. I still get pretty good, we don't get any evasion at all if we don't jump. I still get pretty good, headshot percentages from the side with... Oh no, this is the Annihilator, sorry, the Annihilator gets bad. It's the Marauder that has the special headshot percentage. That's such a... That second point of evasion commits us so hard. Makes me very nervous. You know what? I'll take that.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Well, you shouldn't mount the cockpit on the front.
Should have run when you had the chance.
Why hasn't anybody come up with the idea of putting the cockpit behind all the other parts?
Warriors? Show
You know,
what
just make a
got.
bunch of them out of see-through metal. You would think that maybe you could just, like, put the part where the pilot is behind, like, a huge amount of metal and it doesn't actually even need a viewport. But my understanding is that a lot of the mechs are in such poor shape that, like, it doesn't feel this way in the game, but in the fiction,
Here.
mechs are, like, very non-trivial to maintain and repair and stuff. And so there are a bunch of mechs out there in the world that are in the, like, their weapon systems are so busted up and stuff that the pilots are actually aiming visually with, like, iron sights that they've built onto the guns. They've welded messily onto the guns. So in that kind of situation, you can understand why you would not you would need to have a viewport. Building's not good, but like I said, I want the Grasshopper to, like, flank around the side of the Lyrans here. So we're going to do a thing that will maybe get us into some trouble. I am exactly where I do not want to be right now.
Is that it? I'm barely scratched.
Also, reinforcement
Ready to
waves. Like, we are still in danger. We are still in considerable danger. So he's taking rear damage. Man, yeah, we've gotten basically nothing done on this guy. I'm inclined to actually jump backwards. Ooh, destroy buildings, provide cover.
Roger that, Commander.
Yeah, let's play it super safe here.
I'm on him.
Okay, I did hit the head. So now anybody should be able to put a weapon into that guy's head for the kill. We're going to put a ton of stuff on the salvage table. Yeah, I guess the idea with that Banshee design is that it's just like, it's big enough and tough enough that you can just run it at people.
What can I do for you?
It's really, really unimpressive, like, actual weapons-wise. Well, I think we're gonna
You betcha.
put the big shot into this guy. Do I want to aim? I think I don't. I think I want to save the precision strike for the Annihilator, but I also think I want to move the crab right now.
Hell yeah. It's on.
Oh, I accidentally hit him in the head with probably one of the LBX pellets. Well, good teamwork, everybody. You know what the real solution is to this cockpit problem?
Waiting on you, Commander.
I guess this doesn't save the mech, but it does save pilots. What if there just wasn't a pilot? What if they were remotely operated? Why hasn't anybody ever thought of that in the video game or in real life? Now, obviously, if they had proper automation tech, they'd be using it.
Uh-huh.
But hear me out. What if we rigged up some RC cars in there on a bunch of conveyor belts and we, like, Rube Goldberg them to the instrument panel? Given the relative weakness of this Banshee, I kind of think we don't aim. I just preserve the high resolve level, and we do a bunch of aim shots next turn, which means that maybe I don't want to fire everything, because we're going to have heat issues in a second here. Maybe let's take it easy for a turn. That guy doesn't even have any evasion, so I'm not stripping evasion by doing this. Maybe I just brace, then. Okay, that's working. They're going after each other. I saw an orange number in there. Whatever that 80 tonner is, it's missing some armor. Okay, maybe we maybe we don't fire any shots for the moment. This seems like a good time to just recover and chill.
Copy that, Commander.
They seem to have each other well in hand. Yeah, its left armor must be all shredded.
What now?
I do want to, like, still position pretty aggressively with the grasshopper, with the dragonfly, rather, because it doesn't have a lot of range.
Ugh, here we go.
We'll do this. We'll do, like, a nice flanking maneuver here. Boy, the actual functional hit size of this mech is way bigger than that little size projection, clearly. Ooh, it's a Victor. Maybe I should get in there and try to deal the killing blow on that Victor, because I would like it if there were pieces of that available in the pool. We do need the Victors for completion, and also they're actually pretty good mechs, if I remember correctly.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Let's see about taking you home. Ooh, I'm gonna core this thing. I probably can't not core it. Unless I fire like a single weapon and just hope. I'm gonna fire a single weapon and just hope. I trust you, Tire Fire. 18%, well, 18% of 95%. Ah. Because if I fire all the weapons, the chances of me coring it are extremely high. And even if you do kill it by taking off the head, if you also core it, you still only get one piece of salvage. Uh-oh, some of the enemies remember that we're here.
I hear ya.
I'm digging this, though, like the scale of the battle and everything, and also, just in general, I think the urban landscape type makes the battles really cool. You know what? I'm going to try to cut off whatever that is. I see no reason to allow it to survive.
On my way.
Why? It's a Victor. We are, in fact, going to go for the dome here with everything.
This should be good.
Got him. Okay. Victor problem solved. We are taking home a Victor. Well, 3/5 of one.
It's go time.
I think we're doing a really good job of managing aggro here. Part of the key is to never shoot anything and leave it alive. that way they don't remember that you're an enemy. Also, they are all really fixated on that Merrick Banshee.
What are your orders, Skipper?
By the time I finish my ridiculous flanking maneuver here, there might not be anything left to flank. Also, I think we can move in a little bit because it is looking increasingly likely that there's not going to be enemies left pretty soon. Wow, I'm surprised I managed to hit a part of that was not the head without accidentally killing it. Well, it's going to be toast pretty soon here. I was going to say, is it really going to survive that volley? How evenly distributed could that damage possibly be?
I'm here.
We continue to approach. We are going to get at least one great big flamethrower move off. It's gonna happen. I don't know what that 90 tonner is, but that's looking like our target, maybe. Whatever it is, it fires an awful lot of guns. Might be a stalker,
What can I do
maybe?
for ya?
What do we have from the crab? Well, the crab could step up and try to put a bunch of bullets in that banshee. It's probably the crab's move is go to here and brace.
Got it.
Just chill out a little bit, let the recoil on the guns reset. And then we can step over to the edge of this and fire down into those
Good
guys.
to go.
I kind of wish that I could just not do anything this turn. Just like pass without actually passing. I think I want to end up over here. That's also a bad Banshee. But like we gotta start taking out these Merrick guys, so they're gonna overwhelm the other dudes. We want to keep the fight relatively even.
Got it.
Okay, that's a fair amount of damage. And a decent amount of
Show 'em
stability.
what you got.
Ooh, Cyclops 10Q. Is that the one? I don't remember. And it doesn't much matter. The Cyclops is not in the weight class completion thing.
Confirmed.
Alright, Hoplite. Can you get a position on that Orion? Can. Just barely. Do I want to jump on a real tall building? Oh, I can't. It bugs me a little bit that you can see stuff like that through, you can see the dots on the ground through the building. I mean, I understand why, but it does make it hard to tell when you can or cannot get on a particular structure. We may as well include this. We're not trying to get a piercing shot here.
Firing.
Okay, so that'll be pretty easy to clean up. Somebody can mop that up at some point. Fools, leave my beautiful Cyclops alone.
Hey,
Okay, does it have... Oh, it does have heat on it. I'm a little leery of getting in with that Banshee. Hold on, we're gonna reserve. Wait, am I? He's about to have a turn. Yeah, I'm gonna reserve.
sure.
I'm pretty tough as I'm standing right now. We're gonna let the Dragonfly go real late in the turn here. Alright. You have raised my ire. Mostly I'm worried about that Banshee.
Let's cut it out now.
Waiting on you, Commander.
As much as I do not think the Banshee is a terrifying enemy, I think we probably ought to deal with it now because I need the Grasshopper to not get punched for 117 damage.
Moving out. All weapons are go.
Oh, we actually got multiple weapon hits to the head, I'm pretty sure.
Did you see it?
That was just really good luck. Reinforcement wave 1 is coming in 2 rounds. Alright, what now is get way up on this dude and turn him the hell off.
I may regret this.
He actually has a lot of heat threshold. Do we want to... We could knock off an LRM-10, 2 medium lasers. Yeah, how much heat do we want to apply here? Probably don't want to go all in on my weapons. Yeah, that puts us in a pretty dangerous position for next turn. I don't think we need the large laser at this range. We'd have to get 83 damage here, or I guess any one of these shots could crit and just blow the ammo bin. Yeah, I'll go for it like this.
It's my turn.
We only got him for 50 heat.
Looking up.
But we're going to get to go before him next turn, so we can turn him off. And apparently my plan's not going to work, because I can't get... Like, this is what I want to do. Well, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Got it.
Too damn slow to do the thing and fire in the same turn. Alright, well, at least the reinforcements are coming in a place we're already covering.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Okay, so do we want to take the chance of blowing this thing up, or do I want to try to save it? Because if I just overheat it, then people can pick it up, like, next round. I think I'm going to do that. We're just going to tag it with the flamethrowers, and the Dragonfly is going to back off.
Target.
As far as, like, strategy goes, this is maybe not optimal. There we go. There's that 75 heat. But one thing I like about this a lot is it's a fun and unusual thing to do. We're going to jump way back to cover here. may come a situation where we need that mech to do that thing. Maybe.
Ah! I took
It's
some
unfortunate.
Yup.
Alright, the hoplite had a building problem, which we knew was a possibility when we put it up there, so, you know, I can only be so upset. It's a Banshee 3E, that's another Orion. I mean, pretty good odds. Not awesome, but pretty good. That we get this. We only have to hit with one weapon to get it. No, we hit... Somehow, despite ostensibly aiming for the head, we managed to hit each of the arms. I can't imagine how you would do that.
Battle mech power-up detected.
Good to go.
Alright, I need... It would be cool if we could get some kind of cover. We can't, but it would be cool if we could.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Let's have the crab blow somebody up. By somebody, I mean this guy. Are we in the side arc? We are not in... We are in the side arc, which is a shame. Well, I think I'm just going to hit him with everything, though. What else can we do? We can shoot that Orion, but that Orion's much more likely to die. We could blow through the back of this Banshee, but I don't actually care about this Banshee. Try to blow through... Yeah, the other Orion, the healthy Orion, is the sensible target. Wow, that was remarkably little damage. Even, like, stability-wise. I guess I wasn't really thinking about that, but keeping the Cyclops alive is definitely valuable for keeping the enemies distracted as well. Something to shoot at that isn't from my company. I don't really want to get any closer.
Right, Commander.
And then... Do we just go to you and hope? It's not impossible that we can just pull a random headshot. Or we also could just, like, try to go through the, mech in total. Because obviously, we're having some problems here. We need to lower the number of enemies. Yeah, I think
Got it.
just fire everything at this guy, and if we had to go through the center, we gotta go through the center.
Critical hit. Minor damage, Commander.
I appreciate how much they're shooting low. Also, I'm pretty surprised that he can actually fire at both of those mechs, considering how far apart they are.
Ha! Send me a ring.
Turrets powering up? Okay. Not a big deal unless they're LRM turrets, but they totally could be. Yeah, we gotta pick up some enemies here. Some people gotta die. I assume that what's supposed to be happening right now is... Oh! The application was unable to start correctly. But the application's been running for some time. Okay, well, it crashed, so that's not awesome. Well, I guess that's maybe an okay place to call it for now. Not the way I wanted to end the episode. Thank you all so much for coming. You know, I was giving Phoenix Point crap for crashing earlier today, and I was like, you know, this isn't happening with any other games I'm recording. Unfortunate. Come back next time, tomorrow, when we're going to do a better... That's going to happen better. I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. Come back next time, tomorrow, for a working game. And we'll see you then.